Now, I'm in no way or position to state that I'm a leading factor or leading authority, I guess, would be a decent way to start. Nonetheless. Now, this idea or project has been shown before. What this essentially is, and what I have it set up for, is when you give a person a gift and you make it this is the gift. It's pure. It's nice, and there's nothing wrong with it. And you give that gift freely and generously, even like you give it with the most love ever. Okay, but then years go down in the road. You get very spoiled. Like personally, you begin to your gift seems to get fermented, so you feel like it's not appreciated or taken properly, or I guess appreciated properly. Which, okay, very true, very possible that your gift is being taken advantage of. However, the Bible states a very specific scripture. Okay, how, and it's the disciples asking Jesus, how many times should we forgive? And Jesus says, well, 7 times 77, or 77 times 7. Essentially what that actually means is you never stop forgiving. And as otherwise commanded, you should also not stop giving generously, because there is never once a scripture in the Bible where it says that there is a limit or there is a stop to the commandments given by Jesus, or prior, which is again given by God. So it doesn't really matter who you're talking about, where it comes from. Command is to love one another as thyself. There is no limit, there is no stop, there is nothing that says you need to cut it loose. Now, however, there is a scripture that would entail a cutoff point. But that cutoff point is more towards the equivalency of a divorce, not particularly how you should treat people, or like a friendship or whatever, or just family in general. You shouldn't do it in the first place. It just says if there is no other way. But Jesus claims very specifically there is, like let's say his purpose here. He even asked God, the Father, is there no other way? Well, obviously there wasn't. It had to be done. So, in terms of how many times you have to forgive somebody, and so that you can just peacefully allow God to do the judgment while you continue the forgiveness 7 times 77 or whatever, and giving gracefully and peacefully and with love, and so that you can continue fulfilling your purpose or place that God said, and that is the Beatitudes, essentially, to maintain your place righteously in His eyes and in His ways. So we need to maintain ourselves, setting ourselves away from judgment, because that is specifically only the right that Jesus reserves, due to the fact that even in Revelation it is stated, who can open the seals of the judgment? Now you would think, well, why can't God the Father open the seals of the judgment? Well, He doesn't hold the right to. And that's surprising, right? Well, no, it's not. Authority and the right is two separate things. God the Father, yeah, he has the authority, but He has not the right. And the reason for it is because when Jesus paid the price for you, that is what gave him the right, because he went the distance for you. And all he asks in return is to love him, and to love him is to obey his commandments. And one of those commandments is, of course, you can go and say, yeah, to love your neighbor as thyself, but for what I've already said is to continuously forgive those around you, your neighbors, regardless of who they might be, and to give generously to those who are to receive it, okay? The reason why you're giving to them is because you see a need for it. And if there's a need for it, you might think, well, look, I have done the analyzation. I believe that if they just pick themselves up, they can move forward and they don't need my help anymore. I just need them to go and do it. And you're right. You're probably right. But there are variables that you are not considering because you don't know them, because you're not the author. God's the author, or Jesus is the author, and he knows all the variables. He's the one painting the picture, painting the design, painting the life, the beautiful rose that is to bloom, not you. So you don't have all the variables. You think you do, but please understand, you never do. You never will, because you're not of one of two people, the person being afflicted, nor are you Jesus. And here's a scripture for you. We are all in this position, in one way or another. The Pharisees and Sadducees threw the prostitute at Jesus' feet. The prostitute was being judged by the leaders, right? They said to Jesus, and they quoted scripture. Now, who else quotes scripture in this way? Lucifer did to Jesus. Lucifer can quote scripture better than any of you, better than me. And he's quoted scripture to Jesus of all people. You may not care, okay? You may not care. That's fine. I'm not asking to push you to care. I really am not. However, Jesus of all people, right? And Jesus still uses scripture to combat. And the difference of scripture is Lucifer uses it to attack, to condemn, to judge, to bring reason to his words, to bring his own words of deception or personal opinion, value to whatever his purpose or whatever his desire is. While Jesus uses the scriptures for in context, within absolute value, actual purpose, actual original use, or what is it? The source birth to the value of that scripture. I lost the word. Silly me. But nonetheless, what we're getting at is you have this perfect gift, and you've been giving it for years. And you're thinking, why can't this person just appreciate the gift I'm giving them? Like, let's suggest something. It's not in relation to anything that I've gone through. It relates because we've been there before in one way or another. So let's suggest you put a roof over somebody's head, and for years you think, they should be grateful that I put a roof over their head. They should be grateful that I put food in their table, on the table for them to eat when they could not provide for themselves. They should be grateful that I provide for the family because no one else can and no one else is. They should be grateful that I'm allowing them to stick around so they can get their life together. They need to give me that respect. And the more you have that toxicity, it's a judgment. It's a form of judgment because you feel like you're giving them pure gifts. But in fact, behind that pure gift is a sense of toxic, they should value my gift. maybe they do value your gift, but life in general has infinitesimally the impossibility to calculate the infinite number of variables, so that anybody aside from, give me a second.